How's it going, citizens of the interwebs? Llyan here, and today we are going to be talking about must-have gadgets for architects or architecture students or DIYers. Moving on to the first gadget. Okay, so the first gadget is pretty much like a no-brainer, but I think it's like overlooked or underappreciated. So for architecture work, the mouse is very important, especially when you're using software like AutoCAD, SketchUp, or Revit where you revolve stuff around. So in my case, I use two mice. I use the Logitech MX Master and I also use the Logitech G602. So basically, these are my two main drivers when I'm using architectural software and also editing video. So for editing video, I use the MX Master. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But mainly for my architectural softwares, I use this, the Logitech G602, for the reason that it has like 6 customizable buttons here on the left side, which you could customize to do various macro commands for your programs. So super useful. Also, it has 2 buttons up here that adjust your DPI settings. There you go, the Logitech G602. That is my main driver for architectural programs such as AutoCAD, SketchUp, and Revit. Okay, so the second mouse that I use is the Logitech MX Master. So I love the feel of this in the hand. It fits my hand pretty well. My hand's not really that big, but when I'm cupping this in my hand, it feels really good. Also, the textures of the materials that they put in here, it will make any type of architect or architecture student, you know, it feels like it was designed by an architect. Did you look at that? This mouse screams architecture. So one of the favorite things that I love about this thing is this side scroll wheel right here, right there. There's a side scroll wheel. So when I'm editing in Photoshop or editing in Adobe Premiere, it makes scrolling side to side super easy. You won't have to toggle the side scroll thingy-mabob on the program. Okay, so located here at the thumb rest, there's like a hidden button thingy, which I have rerouted to do the middle click of the scroll wheel, so that I don't destroy the middle click of the scroll wheel like I did here. Okay, so with Logitech mouses, there comes this software where you could reprogram basically all of the buttons to do the stuff you like. So that's why I use mainly Logitech mice. Okay, gadget number 2. Okay, so the drawing tablet that I use is the Wacom Intuos CTH480. They need to come up with better names. I think this is called the Manga or something like that. So what I love about this is that it has this like little knobbin thing at the end of the pen, which acts as an eraser. So whenever you write something in Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, or whatever program you guys are using, you could like easily just erase it like a normal pen. So it's pretty intuitive. It has 4 buttons right here, which you could assign various macros or shortcuts to. I don't really use those. I use this in conjunction with the wireless keyboard, so it makes the workflow pretty fast. So sometimes I use this to do sketches of like whatever I want to do in AutoCAD. So I sketch it out first and then I translate it to like measurements and accurate stuff in AutoCAD later. So basically this is just for sketching. Okay, third piece of tech that I think is underused or overlooked in the architecture field. The VR headset. So many of you guys probably think that VR headsets are only for gaming. You could use it for gaming and stuff like that, but for architecture, the VR headset is really useful, especially when you have to present something to your clients. So you could just render a 360 image, put your phone inside this tray thingy, and then let the clients see for themselves what the space around them would look like if it was finished. Alright, so in order for the VR headset to work, you guys would most definitely need a smartphone of some sort. Doesn't have to be a high-end smartphone, so all you have to do is download this application called VR Media Player. Okay, right there. Also, you guys would need a 360-degree image like here. I'll probably make a tutorial one day about how to make these sorts of renderings and images. Okay, so that's what we need. Okay, so what you have to do is just open the application right there. Click on the upper right corner, click Photo Library, and then pick your 360-degree image right here. Click the non-3D right there, and also choose 360-degree for the lens. There we go. Okay, click anywhere, and then all you have to do is click that VR logo thingy on the upper right corner. Click it, and there we go. We have a stereoscopic image of your 3D rendering or your 3D image. Just insert that into this VR thingy-mabob. There we go. Make sure that is centered. Make sure the center line right there is aligned with that thingy right here, and then let us insert that into the VR headset. And voila, there we go. We have a 3D virtual reality tour of our 3D rendering right there. Okay, you can look up, you can look down. Pretty awesome. Definitely a must-have for all of you architecture students or architects out there who are looking to up their presentation game. So this fourth gadget is called a laser level. So this is not really that useful for architecture students, but this is definitely useful for DIYers and architects out there. Basically what this does is it projects a laser that is stabilized via a gyroscope inside this whole thingy right here. This is super useful when you are layouting a bunch of things like cabinetry. That is when this thing is going to shine. Definitely a must-have in your arsenal. Also, I almost forgot, this also has a plumb level, so you don't need to hold one of those plumb level thingies. So basically, this is an all-in-one laser level and also plumb level, so you could lay out ceilings on the slab above. Okay, so as an architect, I'm really a little bit OC about accurate measurements and like plumb levels and having everything at a right angle correctly. In construction, that doesn't really happen often. When you get close to it, that's pretty much, you know, that's good enough. Last instrument that we have is the Bosch GLL 80 Professional Range Meter. So what this thing does is basically you turn it on and then it projects a laser. So what that laser does is it measures the distance from the point which the laser is pointed at up to this point or that point, depending on the settings that you put in here. Mine is broken, so I won't be able to demonstrate it to you guys, but for the while that it lasted, it worked pretty well for measuring high ceilings. Also for getting wall-to-wall measurements, it worked pretty well. I'm not sure why it broke. I had this repaired already, so if there are any Bosch representatives out there who are watching, please send me a new one. Anyways, this is super useful if it didn't break. Okay, so those were the top 5 must-have architecture gadgets in my opinion. Well, there are a few other gadgets out there that I probably have missed, so please comment down below if I missed any architecture gadgets that you guys would like me to review. Anyways, in my opinion, those are the top 5 must-have architecture gadgets. If you are a beginning architect, or if you are a newbie architect, or if you are just a architecture student or a DIYer, these are the things that you should consider buying because it will make your life whole lot easier. Anyways, if you guys like this video, please like, leave a comment, and subscribe down below for more architecture videos like this from me, your boy Llyan. I will see you guys on my next video. Flying peace!